Right now is what drives The Rock. It's right now what moves at moments like this is what drives The Rock. You see, right now is why The Rock is one of the most, if not the most, electrifying man in all of entertainment. Which is why The Rock has become the most electrifying man in Twittertainment. You see, it goes like this. When The Rock talks on Twitter, things trend worldwide. And here's an example. It goes like this. You see, when The Rock says boots to asses, you can forget about Kardashian wedding. You can forget about the NBA lockout. Hell, Bigfoot himself might become president. But the only thing that's going to be trending worldwide is boots to asses, and it's trending right now. I came all the way here to make sure that tonight Raw gets rocked. So from the people's champ to the people, The Rock ain't waiting 6 days. Tonight, in front of all of you, The Rock is gonna deliver an awesome ass whooping to awesome truth. And you know when I wanna do it? Right now.
You'll have to excuse my partner. He gets a little excited, tells everybody he's the captain of Team Bring It. Sadly enough, the only thing he's brought in the last 7 years is a bunch of crappy messages via satellite.
And you'll have to excuse The Rock's partner. Clearly, he's not used to having the support of someone who's already reached puberty. You see, The Rock's partner is so concerned about rising above the hate. But what he should be concerned with is The Rock's size 15 boot rising up and kicking him right in his lady parts. And by the way, right now, Cena's lady parts trending worldwide.
What my partner doesn't understand is, despite his recent fascination with Twitter and of course my fictional mangina, Sunday we have to be a team. And at Survivor Series, if my partner's ego gets in the way of the team, well, John Cena slapped Rocky is going to be trending worldwide.
I am so sick of this.
Excuse my partner. Excuse my partner.
Really? I am sick of The Rock and Cena show.
You guys are trying to make us an afterthought. But you know what? Go ahead. Because the last time that happened, I won the main event of WrestleMania. Everybody's talking about The Rock and Cena. Cena and Rock. Why not make it a national holiday? Saying never before and never again. When we get done with you two, that Survivor Series at Madison Square Garden, it will never be forgotten.
We'll see you Sunday. Oh, you will see us on Sunday. But as they're saying, we're all here right now, boots to asses.
I said, are you ready for the Survivor Series?
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
The Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey, ooh yeah.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Faran Derry.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Really? Yeah!
Hello and welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly. An interesting week to say the least here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. I mentioned a little bit last week about how WWE was concerned more about what's going on, what's trending on Twitter, and now all of a sudden, well, we're talking about Cena's lady parts and The Rock with his new catchphrase as well, which has already become a t-shirt, as you've seen from this past Monday night on Raw. But, of course, we're on the cusp of Survivor Series. I want to get some of your favorite moments in what is now the 25th year of the Thanksgiving tradition known as Survivor Series, or at least the first few years it was the Thanksgiving tradition, then it became the Thanksgiving Eve tradition, and then as long as it's a Sunday sometime in November, that's pretty much close enough. So we want to know that. We'll also talk about what happened with Turning Point this past Sunday and some breaking news that came out courtesy of TMZ over the course of the last 12 hours. TMZ reporting that Matt Hardy, of course, former WWE and TNA star, he's gotten into some legal trouble. Well, he was kicked out of a WWE-sponsored rehab facility yesterday. The staff, well, they said that they were suspicious of his behavior and they ordered him to take a breathalyzer test. Hardy claimed that he wasn't drinking, but he failed the breathalyzer. Hardy, of course, giving the old "I recently used mouthwash" excuse. After being ejected from the facility, he flew back home to North Carolina, where he was immediately arrested and charged with violating a court order. Because when Hardy was sent to the rehab because of his legal issues, he was told that he would be placed in jail on a $1 million bond if he failed to complete the rehab program. So Matt Hardy kicked out of a WWE-sponsored rehab facility and, currently arrested and charged with violating a court order. It's a shame to see just the downward spiral for Matt Hardy continuing. And, we had hoped that he'd be able to get things together in that rehab, but it doesn't look as though that's the case. Also, I want to see what your thought is of the Twitter mania that seems to be going on with the WWE, and I also kind of want to get the pulse of the people. Now, obviously, we're here in the Philadelphia area. Tomorrow night, we've got the Survivor Series pay-per-view. I want to know, what are you watching tomorrow at 8 o'clock? Are you watching the Survivor Series? Are you watching Eagles and Giants NFL football? Are you watching something else? Kind of want to get that going as well. Plus, as I said, we've got all your favorite moments we can certainly go over from the last 24 years of Survivor Series. One that jumps out to me immediately, and it's kind of more of a moment of infamy, really. You got to go back 21 years ago to Survivor Series 1990 from back in the Hartford Civic Center. I'm sure you remember it as well as I do. It wasn't even a match that kind of jumped out at me. No, it was that infamous egg. That's right. As you may remember, the build-up to the pay-per-view was that there was a giant egg and it was going to hatch at the pay-per-view, and all of a sudden out came this turkey-type figure known as the Gobbledygooker, and wasted probably about 10 minutes of the pay-per-view dancing to a rock version of Turkey in the Straw with Mean Gene Okerlund in the ring. It's one of those so bad it's good kind of moments, and that one, I mean, they're out of many moments. Survivor Series 1990 jumping out at me, and probably one even more notable, which occurred 14 years ago today, going back to Survivor Series 1997. I guess when you mention Survivor Series, that pops out first, but I thought I'd have a little bit of fun with it, kind of throw a bit of a gag out there. Of course, got to go back to Montreal, the Molson Center. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, WWE Championship, and, of course, the infamous Montreal Screwjob that none of us really have been able to forget. So those are a couple of my memorable moments. I want to know some of your memorable moments from Survivor Series past, and are you looking forward to tomorrow's Survivor Series? I know Dan posted on the Facebook page he's just not into it this year. Hopefully we'll hear from him a little bit to elaborate on that, either on the Facebook or on the phones. In case you don't have the numbers, 215-949-3232 or toll free at 888-922-2149. Those are the ways to get to us. And taking a look a little bit further into the Facebook feedback, of course, you can certainly bring your opinions to the Facebook. Just look up WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly. John chimes in. He's not exactly feeling The Rock's mic work. He says, I feel like The Rock's mic work is not nearly as good as it used to be back in the day. Acting for so long, whether or not the movie is even watchable, may have changed how he speaks on the mic live. His humor and sarcasm are still on point. It's just his voice is completely different in emotion. It's like he's doing an open audition rather than an actual segment, which is live. Something I never thought of, but you definitely can tell. You can tell that something's different. I personally think that it's more of just an evolution of his character. Just that obviously, if he's doing the same shtick that he did 10 years ago, people get tired of it. So you kind of have to shake things up a little bit, and that's why you've got all these new catchphrases, including the new one, which seems to be trending in T-shirting and all that, the whole boots to asses line, which, way to go, Rock. That's certainly an interesting one. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the phones. We've got a look at the local scene courtesy of Ed. Ed in the Northeast. Welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon.
What's going on, Ed?
We have SWO in Lancaster tonight at 7 p.m. bell time.
Out in Lancaster, so that means you better hop in the car now if you want to get to that one.
WWE's in Hershey this Monday and with a super show.
That's for Raw this Monday, right?
Yes, and everybody knows about the Survivor Series.
Yeah, that'll obviously be rather interesting. It's a nice little trip up the train to New York there. Obviously, it's been sold out for a while, though, so unless you want to pay buco bucks to get to that. Let me throw it out there to you, Ed. What? Look at tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. What are you watching? You watching Survivor Series? You watching a little football?
Playing Little Feet.
Oh, okay. Something a little different, a little interesting. All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Enjoy your Thanksgiving as well. Appreciate the call as always. Thanks so much for the call, Ed. Little quick look at the local, or at least in this case, not so local scene, courtesy of Ed. We've got some more news and notes. Of course, we're looking for more of your favorite Survivor Series moments. I had a few of them put up over the course of the last week on the Today in Wrestling History, kind of focused on Survivor Series over the course of this past week, where we got some various moments such as the Big Show, Triple H and The Rock in a triple threat match from '99. The Rock and Mankind, the infamous tournament from 1998, which featured the second straight Montreal finish, for lack of a better term. Also, Goldberg against Triple H in a World Heavyweight Championship match from 2003. It's amazing how it just kind of jumps around. Then, of course, from '96, it's amazing how history repeats itself. 1996, Survivor Series, Madison Square Garden. 15 years ago, that was the debut of The Rock. And now he's kind of coming, I don't know about full circle necessarily, but definitely completing some sort of a circle, to say the least. And, of course, from yesterday, the Today in Wrestling History segment took a look at the invasion from 10 years ago, Survivor Series 2001, where you had Team WWE beating Team Alliance with those such as Austin, Van Dam, Kurt Angle, Booker T, and Shane McMahon. Vince McMahon was supposed to be part of the match, but he ended up having an injury. It was taken place by The Big Show. Also, The Undertaker, Kane, Chris Jericho, and The Rock were involved in that one. Some great stuff. We'll take care of a little bit of business here. We'll come back, get to some of your calls. Got open lines at the moment, so you can certainly chime in. 215-949-3232. We're toll-free at 888-922-2149. Looking for your favorite Survivor Series moments, what you think of the trending Raw's Twitter, and something I actually asked about on the Facebook page. Which was worse for WWE to trend on Twitter? Cena's lady parts or boots to asses? We'll certainly get your thoughts and takes on that. We've got a couple of them on the Facebook page. I'll get to those coming up as well. Plus, we've got Turning Point results coming up on the other side, and some developments already for Final Resolution. A couple of matches there. We'll certainly lay those out. Plus, I've got my preview of this year's Survivor Series for tomorrow night, and my infamous predictions starting to go wrong. All that and more here on Pro Wrestling Weekly, here on 1490 WBCB, and online at WBCB1490.com.